Hey guys, so I got a question for you this week. What is your best creepy story that you could tell me that would be campfire worthy? I'm Havoc. This is Drifter of Darkness. So guys, welcome back to Drifter of Darkness. This week I'm going to be doing another film review on a film called Fireside Tales, which came out in 2017 and is also by CatchMe KillMe Productions, who made the film Monkey Farm that I actually reviewed last week. Now, this film is a little bit different than Monkey Farm. This is not a found footage film this time. This time we are going to be talking about a film that is a horror anthology film. Now, I really usually enjoy horror anthology films because I think it's a good way for you to get an idea across in a film in a very small amount of time that you wouldn't normally be able to do with a full-length feature film. Getting into this particular one, it's got its ups and downs, I'm not gonna lie. There are a couple of the stories that I actually found really good and found to be quite entertaining. But then it's got its slow moments for me, and a lot of that just depends on what you find scary, entertaining, disturbing to some degree. The film basically centers around a group of friends trying to outdo each other and tell scary stories like around a campfire. Hence the title, Fireside Tales. But as with all friends, some friends are going to be a little bit better at storytelling than others. And that kind of applies to this movie as well. So let's start with the things that I did like about the movie. First thing I liked about it was the first film in the anthology is about this kind of like disfigured mutant character that's like in the water and all this kind of stuff. And this one I actually kind of liked because it kind of gave me that throwback to something like Hills Have Eyes, and it was a pretty interesting take on that. It's like with all of the films that are in this particular slasher anthology, they're all slasher films, so they're pretty much follow the same basic routine. Now, I know that this film is supposed to be a bunch of friends telling stories around a campfire. I kind of feel like that this could have gone in a lot more different kind of directions with it and made some of the films not so much just slasher films, but some of the individual slasher films are actually pretty good. I liked the first one, which is the one about the mutant in the water. The next one that I actually liked was the very last one, because it's got this very creepy vibe to it about, it's a skinwalker. While it's still kind of in the slasher realm, it's got a few more like twists and turns that I wasn't really expecting, whereas the other ones are a little more straightforward and kind of to the point as far as slasher films. There's one of them, I believe it's the second one, and it's about a crazy guy out in the middle of the desert, and he's basically killing people, taking their faces, wearing them, and killing somebody else. The third one in the series is kind of this video about these people are in a house having like a friend get together, and the lights go out, stormy night, and of course somebody decides to go out and investigate to turn the breaker back on, which seems to be out in the barn. Not sure where they were going with that. It's kind of, you know what's going to happen. There's also, you don't really realize it until you get much further into the film, but there's also kind of a final like wraparound story or what I call a wraparound story with anthologies, where the people telling the story are also part of another story, which I do usually like this concept when you're doing an anthology series, kind of like the Creep Show films or the like Trick or Treat. It's expected. People know that this is gonna probably be what's happening, but the way they went about it in this film was interesting. The acting is all right. It seems to be, the acting is better when they're actually in the stories for the anthology series. When they're sitting around the campfire talking, some of the dialogue kind of seems forced, like they're not sure how to deliver to the other people, or the reactions aren't how you would expect them to be. Not bad, just not, it's better when they're actually in the stories, because the people that are sitting around the campfire are also the actors in the stories themselves for the different anthology slasher films. As far as gore, there is a little bit of gore in this one. There's more so in this one than there was in the Monkey Farm film. However, it's still not a complete splattery gore fest that I feel like people have come to expect from slasher films. Scary, I've never been scared of any slasher film. Freddy, Jason, etc. So for me, this one wasn't scary. If you are scared of the possibility of slasher films or the realism of something like this happening, then this might be a little more on the disturbing side or creepy side for you. This one, I will say that the cinematography and the way that they position the cameras and everything in this one was pretty good, better than a lot of the other indie films out there. I've seen some films that have been on DVD. Yeah, I buy them sometimes in those like 50 movie packs, and you get them, and some of them look like they're literally filmed in someone's backyard with a camera that's like 20 years old, and they just filmed it last year. And they don't know what they're doing. It's like they just have the camera and they're like, oh yeah, just walk over there. So it's kind of, this one was actually really well filmed as far from that kind of aspect. Would I watch this film again? That's a hard question to answer, because this was actually my second time viewing it already, because I actually saw this film last year when it was on Amazon Prime. That's another reason it's hard for me to say, would I watch this again? Because I've already seen it twice at this point. At the time when I watched it the first time, I didn't know I was going to be doing, I didn't even know this, I was going to be doing this channel back then. So yeah, I mean, the film is interesting. I've watched it twice already. I would say if you like anthology series movies, go check it out. It's decent. If you want to go check it out, it's Fireside Tales from CatchMe KillMe Productions. They've got some pretty creative creatures and character designs for their films, especially with this one with the 5 rather different stories for the anthology. If you like slasher films and indie slasher films, this is a pretty good movie. But yeah, Fireside Tales, I'll give it a thumbs up. I mean, like I said, I've watched it twice, so go check it out. It's a slasher film, anthology series. If you like either one of those film genres, this one might be up your alley. I'm Havoc. This has been Drifter of Darkness.